Time having arrived, I call the meeting to the City Council for Monday, July 22, 2024 to order. Please rise and help us salute our beautiful flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated, councilors. I think we need to stay seated tonight. For folks that are watching us at home, this must be like deja vu to them, going back to 2018 when we spent the whole year jumping from places to places. So without any further ado, Mr. Clerk, agenda number 1, please.
Item 1, we have the acceptance of the minutes of the June 24, 2024 City Council meeting.
Now we accepted and placed on file.
We have appointments. We have the appointment of the following 2 candidates to the rank of firefighter in the Brockton Fire Department. Mr. Jelson Cardoso of Clifton Ave, Brockton, Mass. Mr. Sergio Gonzalez of Sophia Ave, Brockton, Mass.
Mr. President?
Council Ellie.
Mr. President, I'd like to take a motion to take this item under suspension of the rules and act on it tonight.
A motion has been properly made and second to take 2 under suspension of rule and act on it tonight. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? It carries.
Mr. President?
Mr. Lally.
I'd like to make a motion for reconsideration in the hopes it does not prevail.
Well, we have to vote first.
Roll call. Okay, sorry.
Roll call vote.
Trying to get this done.
Azak. Yes. Duraincourt.
Yes.
Griffin. Yes. Lally.
Yes.
Minicello. Yes. Nicastro. Yes. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
9 in the affirmative.
And the confirmation is confirmed.
Mr. President,
Mr. Lally.
I would now like to take a motion for reconsideration in the hopes this does not prevail.
Second. A motion for reconsideration in hopes that it does not prevail has been properly made in second. All those in favor of reconsideration? Anyone opposed? It fails. Do we want to...
The candidates are here if you'd like to have them stand and be identified.
Why don't we take a quick recess just for some photographs and return? Back on. Number 3, Mr.
Item 3, we have the reappointment of Mr. Martin S. Brophy of Morse Ave, Brockton, Mass. to the position of Treasurer Tax Collector for a 3-year term expiring August 2027.
Refer to the Committee on Finance.
We have the report of the Finance Committee for its meeting of July 15th, 2024.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the Fire Chief informing the City Council that they have selected 2 candidates for appointments to the Brockton Fire Department. These candidates were found suitable for a public safety position with the Brockton Fire Department. Jelson Cardoso of Clifton Ave, Brockton, Mass. and Sergio Gonzalez of Sophia Ave, Brockton, Mass. to the rank of firefighter in the Brockton Fire Department.
That will be accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor reappointing Mr. Martin S. Brophy of Morse Ave, Brockton, Mass. to the position of Treasurer and Tax Collector for a 3-year term expiring August 2027.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the interim auditor requesting a waiver to the residential requirement that her employment requires as assistant auditor for the city of Brockton. On November 2022, she signed the residential requirement as stated in section 2-110 of the city ordinance with the expectation to move to Brockton within a year as contractually stipulated. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, it appears she will not be able to gain residence in Brockton.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the City Council authorize the acceptance and expenditure of the grant award in the amount of $500 from Eastern Bank Foundation to the City of Brockton Council on Aging.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the City Council authorize the transfer of $63,473.91 from Finance Personal Services Non-Overtime to Human Resources Personal Services Non-Overtime. This transfer will be to cover the salary of an employee being moved from the Finance Department to the Human Resource Department.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the city council authorize the raise and appropriation of $390,000 to law court judgments. This appropriation will be to fund a court settlement for a recently settled lawsuit.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
That too will be accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the city council authorize a raise and appropriation of $584,678 to library personal services non-overtime, $393,753, to library purchase of service, $172,850, to library goods and supplies, $18,075. This appropriation will fully fund the Brockton Public Library for fiscal year 2025.
That will be accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the city council authorize the raise and appropriation of $275,000 to mayor personal services non-overtime. This appropriation will help fund the full-time salaries of employees in the mayor's office for the entire fiscal year.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the city council authorize the acceptance and expenditure of a donation in the amount of $50,000 from the estate of Francis X. McDonald to the Brockton Parks and Recreation Department. These funds will be used for improvements at the D.W. Field Park and golf course.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the city council authorize a total appropriation of $48 million using the attached form of order with language as recommended by Attorney Richard A. Manley Jr. of Lock Lord LLP, the city's bond counsel, in order to provide funding through borrowing said amount, completing the construction of the new Brockton Public Safety Building located at 175 Warren Avenue.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
That too will be accepted and placed on file.
We have communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the city council authorize the creation of the school bus charter fee revolving fund, provided that no more than $250,000 may be expended during fiscal year 2025. The creation of this fund will capture revenue from bus trips provided by the city, so those costs can be paid for by the user.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
That too will be accepted and placed on file. I believe Councilor Griffin, you have a late file that you want us to.
Yes, I do, Mr. President. Thank you very much. I have a late file that I'd like to work on the act suspension of the rules. Thank you.
Acceptance first.
Yes. Okay.
I'd like to have the appointment of Anthony Paul, 134 Bouvet Ave in Brockton, to the position of assessor for 3-year term ending in July 2027. I'd like to act on that under suspension of the rules and do it tonight.
Second.
A motion has been properly made in second to accept a late file. All those in favor of that motion? Anyone opposed? It carries.
Mr. President, on the motion,
On the motion, Councilor Duranicourt.
if I may, that would be, Mr. Paul, may I ask you like one question? Sure. According to my review, well, I think I know this.
Mr. President, if I could read the order first before we...
That's okay, go ahead. Give me a minute.
No, just stay right there. He needs to read it first before.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
On the late file, we have a communication from the mayor appointing Anthony Paul of 134 Bouvet Avenue, Brockton, Mass. to the position of assessor for a 3-year term ending July 2027.
Accepted and placed on file.
Now we have the appointment of Anthony Paul of 134 Bouvet Avenue, Brockton, Mass. to the position of assessor for a 3-year term ending July 2027.
Now I need a motion.
I believe the motion was to accept the late file and act on it this evening. That's how we wrote the motion.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so now you can go with your question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Paul, based on your resume, it seems like you went to UMass Boston, right? and I believe you graduated May 2022.
Correct.
Did you do a double major?
Yes, I did.
And that would be based on economics and
Economics and criminal justice, yeah.
that's very impressive. So I just want to, acknowledge the fact that, actually, as we speak, we do have somebody not just only like study economy, but also criminal justice.
Yeah, of
but I
course,
think
yep.
in regard to your job and according to the assistant right here, I think that's going to be very excellent for what you will do in terms of how you're going to look into, some of the stuff that you're going to review for the city. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else? Well, the question comes, you have a question? Sure. All right, having no further questions, the question comes to us on confirmation by a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Azak? Yes. Durancourt?
Yes.
Griffin?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Minicello?
Yes.
Nicastro? Rodriguez?
Yes.
Texera?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
9 in the affirmative.
And the appointment is confirmed. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mr. Clerk, number 26.
Item 26, unfinished business. We have an ordinance, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Brockton to adopt a new ordinance of the City of Brockton as follows. Any board or commission that requires an independent outside consultant review for any project submitted by an applicant in which the payment of the fee for those consulting services are paid for by the applicant, the board or commission must solicit qualified consultants and maintain a list of those consultants who shall provide evidence of their qualifications and fee schedules. In any project that requires a consultant review, the board or commission shall provide a copy of the application or make it available online to no less than 3 approved consultants requesting a scope of services for the particular project. Anticipated timing of completion and requiring a fee schedule be submitted to the board or commission within 10 business days. The board or commission shall provide the proposed scope of services and proposed fee schedule to the applicant, and said applicant may, in its sole discretion, select one of the consultants to perform the required review services. The board or commission shall direct that all independent reviewers be required to consult with the applicant and the applicant's consultants during the performance of their review in order to streamline and expedite the review process and to make it more cost-effective. Nothing herein shall conflict with Mass General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 55G. In City Council, March 11th, 2024, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Ordinance. That report was favorable as amended. In City Council, June 24th, 2024, passed to a third reading as amended by a hand vote.
The question is on ordination as amended by a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Azak? Yes. Durancourt?
No.
Griffin?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Minicello?
Yes.
Nicastro? Yes. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Texera?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
8 in the affirmative, 1 in opposition.
And the ordinance is ordained. Number 27, sir.
We have an ordinance amending Chapter 11, Section 11-144 of the revised ordinances of the City of Brockton. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Brockton as follows, that the language contained in Sections A, B, and C be stricken in their entirety, and the following language be inserted in its place. Amusement or entertainment businesses, and an establishment which has as its principal business activity amusement or entertainment shall be allowed up to 200 automatic amusement devices. In City Council, May 13th, 2024, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Ordinance. That report was favorable as amended. In City Council, June 24th, 2024, passed to a third reading as amended by a hand vote.
The question is on ordination as amended by a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Azak? Yes. Durancourt?
No.
Griffin?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Minicello?
Yes.
Nicastro? Yes. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Texera?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
8 in the affirmative, 1 in opposition.
And the ordinance is ordained. 28, sir.
Item 28, we have the appointment of retired police officer Daniel Leonard to the role of special police officer. In City Council, June 24th, 2024, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question is on confirmation by a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Azak? Yes. Durancourt? Griffin?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Minicello,
Yes.
Nicastro, Rodriguez,
Yes.
Texera,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
And the appointment is confirmed. 29, sir.
29, we have the appointment of Mr. Justin Talbot of 25 Fairview Avenue, Brockton, Mass., to serve on the Brockton Conservation Commission for a 3-year term, ending July 2027. In City Council, June 24th, 2024. Read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question is on confirmation by roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Azak?
Yes.
Durancourt? Griffin?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Minicello,
Yes.
Nicastro? Rodriguez?
Yes.
Texera?
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
8 in the affirmative.
And the appointment is confirmed. 30, sir.
Number 30, resolved from the Finance Committee meeting June 10, 2024, Councilor Farwell motion to amend order number 287, that the following name sum be and the same is hereby transferred, and the same was submitted by the mayor as follows: an appropriation of $3 million from water revenues, raise and appropriate $3 million. 2, DPW water desal fixed charge, $2,100,000. DPW water capital, $900,000. To the amended appropriation of $900,000 and was properly seconded. The motion carried by a hand vote. Having considered the same, motion by Councilor Lally to report favorable as amended and was properly seconded. The motion carried by a hand vote. The order passed in City Council June 24th, 2024 as amended. At the meeting of the Finance Committee on June 10th, 2024, Councilor Farwell asked to have Aquaria come before the City Council and get more information about the desal contract from Aquaria before he would accept the desal fixed charge of $2,100,000. In the Finance Committee meeting July 15th, 2024, that report as a resolve was favorable.
The question is on adoption by a hand vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? The order is adopted. 31, sir.
New business, new ordinances. We have an ordinance amending Chapter 27 of the revised ordinance of the City of Brockton. Be it ordained by the City Council of Brockton as follows. Chapter 27. Zoning is hereby amended by adding the following new sections 27- after Chapter 27 as follows. Fairgrounds Overlay District. The Fairgrounds Overlay District is created to provide for the flexible redevelopment of the Brockton Fairgrounds in order to promote a blended development of mixed-use, residential, commercial, and light industrial uses. The applicant shall have the option of applying for site plan approval pursuant to the zoning controls set forth in this section, or complying with all applicable zoning controls set forth in the zoning ordinances of the city for the underlying zoning district. Development projects proceeding under this section shall be governed solely by the provisions of this section and shall be deemed exempt from the standards and/or procedures of the underlying zoning ordinance, except for those of Article 15.
Mr. Chairman,
Council Durant.
I would like to make a motion to summarize the reading of this ordinance.
Do we have a second?
Second.
The motion has been properly made and seconded to forego the reading and summarize this ordinance. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? It carries.
This is a zoning ordinance for the Fairground Overlay District. It provides for certain processes, for approvals, different standards for commercials and residential standards. It provides for certain building heights, frontages, mixed-use provisions, parking provisions. It provides property description for the land of certain loading requirements, and that's all stated in the ordinance that was submitted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, and thank you, Councilor Durant, for saving the clerk. That will be referred to the Committee on Ordinance and Planning. 32, sir.
Thank you, Councilor Durant-Court. Item 32, ordinance. We have an ordinance creating a revolving fund pursuant to the Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Brockton pursuant to the Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half, that the following language be adopted as a City of Brockton ordinance. the school bus charter fee revolving fund shall be created. Programs or activities for which the school bus charter fee revolving fund may be used include transportation of students or other fee-based transportation services. Donations and fees shall be credited to the school bus charter fee revolving fund. Expenditures from the school bus charter fee revolving fund shall be made on the authority and direction of the chief financial officer, provided that no more than $250,000 may be expended from the school bus charter fee revolving fund during fiscal year 2025. The Brockton chief financial officer shall comply with the reporting requirements of Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half.
That will be referred to the Committee on Ordinance.
We have an ordered a waiver of the City of Brockton's residency requirement under Section 2-110 of the City Ordinances for interim City Auditor Irene Giannopoulos.
Referred to the Committee on Finance.
Ordered that the City Council authorizes the acceptance and expenditure of the total grant funds in the amount of $500 from Eastern Bank Foundation to the Council on Aging.
Referred to Finance.
35, ordered that the following named sum be and the same is hereby transferred as the same was submitted by the mayor as follows. Transfer is $63,473.91 from Finance Personal Services Non-Overtime to Human Resources Personal Services Non-Overtime. The transfer will be used to cover the salary of an employee being moved from the Finance Department to the Human Resources Department.
Referred to the Committee on Finance.
Number 36, ordered raise and appropriate the sum of $390,000 to law court judgments, $390,000. This appropriation will be used to fund a court settlement for a recently settled lawsuit.
Referred to Finance.
Ordered raise and appropriate the sum of $584,678 to Library Personal Services Non-Overtime, $393,753. To Library Purchase of Service, $172,850. To Library Goods and Supplies, $18,075. This appropriation will fully fund the Brockton Public Library for fiscal year 2025.
Referred to the Committee on Finance.
Ordered raise and appropriate the sum of $275,000 to Mayor Personal Services Non-Overtime, $275,000. This appropriation will help fund the full-time salaries of employees in the mayor's office for the entire fiscal year.
Referred to the Committee on Finance.
39, ordered that the City Council authorizes the acceptance and expenditure of a donation in the amount of $50,000 from the estate of Francis X. McDonald to the Brockton Parks and Recreation Department.
Referred to Finance.
40, ordered that the City of Brockton appropriate the amount of $48 million for the purpose of paying additional costs of designing, constructing, and equipping a public safety complex to house the Police, Fire, and Information Technology Department, as well as the Brockton Emergency Management Agency, including the payment of costs of designing and improving roadways and utilities in the vicinity of the public safety complex, making improvements to enhance traffic flow, and for the payment of all costs incidental or related thereto. To meet this appropriation, the city treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow said amount under Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 7-1, or pursuant to any other enabling authority, and to issue bonds or notes of the city therefore. Further ordered that the city treasurer is authorized to file an application with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Municipal Finance Oversight Board to qualify under Mass General Law, Chapter 44A, any and all bonds or notes of the city authorized by this vote, and to provide such information and execute such documents as the Municipal Finance Oversight Board of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts may require.
Referred to Finance.
41, to resolve, whereas the Police Department provides vital public safety services to the city, and whereas Chapter 19, Section 19-29 of the revised ordinances of the City of Brockton provides that rules and regulations for the Police Department be established and approved by the Mayor and City Council. Now therefore be it resolved, the Police Chief and such members of the command staff as may be determined appropriate, be invited to a meeting of the Public Safety Committee of the City Council to review current rules and regulations for all aspects of the administration, operations, and enforcement procedures of the department.
Referred to the Committee on Public Safety.
Item number 42, resolve, whereas the Supreme Court of the United States has ruled that municipalities may establish rules, regulations, and controls for the use of public property. Now therefore be it resolved, City Solicitor Megan Bridges, Police Chief Brenda Perez, Mayor Robert Sullivan, and Director of Social Services be invited to a meeting of the Public Safety Committee of the City Council to initiate the discussion and creation of policies to ensure the safety and security of public and private properties.
Referred to the Committee on Finance.
That's all I have.
Councilors, this is the end.
I'm sorry, there is one more late file, Councilor.
Who has the late file?
I have a copy if somebody can make a motion. This is to be referred to.
Motion, introduce the late file.
A motion has been properly made and second to introduce a late file. Those in favor? Anyone opposed? It carries.
We have a communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the City Council authorize the acceptance and expenditure of the grant award in the amount of $151,670 from the Department of Energy to the Department of Public Works. From Department of Energy, $151,670 to Department of Public Works, $151,670. This funding allows the Department of Public Works to reduce the city's environmental footprint through the purchase of 3 electric trucks, which will meet the program's goals of comprehensively optimizing energy use, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and fostering a culture of sustainability in the community.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
That too is accepted and placed on file.
And we have an order that the City Council authorizes the acceptance and expenditure of the total grant funds in the amount of $151,670 from the Department of Energy to the Department of Public Works.
That will be referred to the Committee on Finance.
And that is all I have.
Now, this is all that you've got. Councilors, any moments of recognition? Councilor Castro.
Thank you. I just wanted to announce that the ordinance committee meeting. Sorry. Thank you. Good evening. I just wanted to announce that the ordinance committee meeting, which was scheduled for tomorrow night, July 23rd, is being postponed.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else? Having absolutely no further business for the citizens and residents of Brockton, this meeting is adjourned.